Check. Okay, we'll wait for some time for everyone to join. We'll wait for some time for everyone to join. Hey, good evening, everyone. We will wait for some time for others to join. We'll wait for some time for everyone to join. Right. So today we have something new and unique. Uh, Hi, good evening, Gautam. So we'll wait for 2 minutes and then we will start. Let others join in. Right. I guess we will start. Let people join as and when we go. People keep joining. So today, good evening, everyone. Today's you know I will say session is based on Microsoft 365. Uh, about a little bit about its administration and security features it offers. Uh, you know, which make actually any enterprise, any organization to manage its office work process very easy to manage. Now, whether if you are a small organization, uh, say 25 to 50 people, or you are as big as 10,000, right? Microsoft 365 is a wonderful solution which actually takes your entire enterprise into the cloud, and you do not have to actually have anything on premise. You do not need any kind of email servers. You do not need to purchase Microsoft Office licenses for your organization. You do not have to purchase, Microsoft, uh, the operating system. You do not have to install any kind of, Active Directory in your premise. It's everything is handled on the Azure cloud. Okay. So with that as a small introduction for today's session, I'll move ahead. Right. So who we are Protect Technologies. We have two verticals. One is the Protect Technologies, which does a lot of security and IT implementations, and we also have a well-known, academy called Protect Academy, where we run a lot of information and cybersecurity courses. A little bit about me. I'm the lead mentor for Protect Technologies. My name is Colonel Shivajit Naha. I retired from the Indian Army. These are my, connect points. You can follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook. Best place to follow me is on LinkedIn. I'm very highly active on LinkedIn. Sometimes my friend said that I think you are 24 hours on LinkedIn. Right. Retired from Indian Army. Managed a lot of resources on premise, and now moved completely into cloud, IT operations, security operations. Right. So what is Microsoft 365? So Microsoft 365 is a very intelligent solution. I must say that once you know Microsoft planned in leading its operations into the enterprise framework, it realized that taking everything onto the cloud, what an enterprise requires, is one of the best solutions. So two things it does very beautifully is it moves all the applications on the cloud, and they are available as software as a service. Now, once it is available as a software as a service, you do not have to buy organizational licenses. You do not have to buy, 1,000 licenses for MS Office or 1,000 licenses for Windows 10 or any other application which Microsoft 365 has. It offers complete solutions as part of different packages available on Microsoft 365. It's a wonderful solution for office work, for enterprises, for businesses, and for educational institutions. Right. So once you have Office 365 as your main office stack, main application stack for the office, it has more than 200 applications which you can use. Now, all applications are available to you based on licenses. What happens is there are certain basic licenses. So first offering from Microsoft 365 is Office Basic, which is only $3 to purchase. So what happens is once you buy Office 365 Basic, which is in Indian rupees is around 145 rupees, you get a complete stack of applications which you can use on your browser. It does not support desktop applications, but you can completely work on browser like any other platform. You can open your you know PowerPoint on the browser. You can open Excel sheets on the browser. Everything on the browser. You have 1 terabyte worth of OneDrive space. You have an application called SharePoint, which makes sharing and working collaboratively very, very easy on Office 365. So most of you would have used Office 365 in your organizations, but many organizations are rapidly moving from on-premise infrastructure where they had their own email servers, they had their own DNS servers, they had their own Active Directory environment to Microsoft 365. Now, there are two choices, in fact, three choices majorly with organizations. First is the Zoho Enterprise, which is again a SaaS application for managing all your Office application. It's a browser-based application, and they have multiple applications for desktops. Right. Second comes is Google Workspace. Google Workspace has also got many features, but they are not as feature rich as Office 365. Now, familiarity with working with Windows makes it a complete leader in this particular space. So Office 365, it's a complete business class, enterprise application. You can work from your laptops, you can work from your, uh, you know, mobile devices, and you can work from your iPads or tablets. It's got applications which can run on any device. But it is based on licensing. There are multiple licenses. First license case is browser based, where you purchase the license and you can work only on browsers. The best solution is the enterprise solution, which is called enterprise E3 solution, which comes bundled with almost 90% of the applications and complete security features of Office 365. Right. So it's got multiple applications, and first amongst them is Skype. Skype helps you in making ad hoc calls, video calls one on one. You don't want to go on, WhatsApp or third party applications. You would like to have your own organizational calling facility, and Skype enables you to make any kind of audio oblique video calls with your Microsoft 365 subscription. Now that enables a lot of things. You can privately share any information on Skype without going to WhatsApp, which is more open to public. It's a more public service. WhatsApp is not considered to be secure for enterprise use. So it's better that you have Skype on your phones, and you can collaborate with your team members on Skype anytime. So it supports calling, it supports video calls one on one. Right. Then best part is the way they have configured the email system. It's very, very intuitive. I use Microsoft 365 in my company. Highly intuitive, uh, driven by Microsoft Copilot. So it makes your life very, very easy. You can also synchronize your Outlook on desktop for any, to work on your emails. Now, the best part that email solution comes with Microsoft 365 is it's highly phishing resistant. Okay, it's very very phishing resistant. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it detects any phishing attempt and automatically, you know, it deregisters the link. It doesn't show you even the link unless it's got some kind of a phishing deviation. Then only it shows you, and with a good amount of precaution, it lets you know that this might be a phishing link. Do you trust it or not? So there are multiple controls wherein once you implement it in your organization, it I will say safeguards. We've not had a phishing incident in last 2 years in our organization. So what I can say is it's highly phishing resistant. Okay, then it's got a lot of collaboration tools. Okay, one of the best collaboration tools is Teams. So the Teams allows you to have group calls. It's got a calendar, so you can just like Google Calendar or Zoho Calendar, you can schedule your calls, your schedule your entire day, or schedule your entire week well ahead in times. Okay, it integrates also with Skype, so any kind of files which you share on Teams would be available on Skype. So there's a multiple integration at the back end from Skype and Teams, right? Uh, One major part in any organization is sharing files, and now for security people, sharing files becomes very very itchy matter. Security guys are very very worried about when people are sharing files, sharing folders. And that's something very itchy to security professionals. Now, OneDrive and SharePoint, these are two applications which make sharing and collaboration within an organization very, very easy. You create one Word file or a Excel file and you want to collaborate with your team members ABC. You just add their email addresses and you can work in the collaborative mode. You can create websites. You can create public or private websites within your organization where you can host files and give access depending upon the kind of work you have. So it's a very, very beautiful collaborative tool, which with a Microsoft Enterprise license comes as a desktop version also. Okay. You can create multiple sites. Say you got 10 projects you are working on, so you can create 10 sites for each client. So if you are handling multiple clients, like what we do, we handle multiple clients on multiple SharePoints, wherein our teams collaborate for a particular client on that particular SharePoint. You can make the SharePoint public and give its access to your clients also, and you can have external collaboration also with the SharePoint servers on the Microsoft 365. Right. Communication is one of the easiest way. You can use both the tools. You can use Skype for video and audio calling, Teams for collaborative calling chats, and it's got the beauty is even if you share files, the files can be shared within a SharePoint, and the file goes into your SharePoint repository. So you can make group calls in your team, or you can make group calls within your SharePoint. So if you have a client SharePoint and there are only 4 members working on that particular SharePoint, you can schedule a call from the SharePoint, and only those 4 people will be able to collaborate in those Teams call. Now, why is it wonderful? It's wonderful because there cannot be any external agency which can come and drop into your call. There could not be drop a call hijacking, which can happen on Microsoft Teams. Great. One more thing it gives you is because of the Copilot coming in, it gives you a wonderful insights. It keeps giving you, so it analyzes from what time you work, what is your most productive work time. So it analyzes because it sees what is your most productive time, and it can actually let you schedule your work as per your productivity. So a particular day of time when you're most productive, the application gauges that you're working more, you're sending more emails, you're typing more. So that analytics runs at the back end using Copilot, and it gives you very beautiful insights as to how better you can, how efficiently you can manage your work. Okay, so there's a lot of chat-based workspace available. So from Microsoft Teams, you can manage your project from the Teams itself. You do not have to collaborate on emails. You can link your SharePoint to the chat service, and you can collaborate easily on the chat. So if say you're working on five, client projects simultaneously. You can have scheduling for each client from say 8 to 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 11 to 12, and then 1 to 2. And that you can easily collaborate from the chat. You can create calls from the chat. You can schedule calls from the chat. You do not have to go to the calendar. So there's AI analytics running at the back end, which can create, calls for you automatically from your team chat. Okay. It provides a lot of filters. You can put filters on your emails, your filters on your files, filters on your workspace. So there's a lot of filter which are available, which you can create to have more productivity in your organization, right? It also gives you a lot of news content which you can use for your workspace. Okay. Now let's come to a little bit into security, how security is inbuilt into Microsoft 365. Now, one of the first services which supports, which is one of the best things, being a on-prem guy, managing AD for very, very large organization, and how painful it is, because if your AD is hacked, your entire organization is hacked. So Microsoft took its AD to cloud and called it Azure AD Service. Now, once it called it Azure AD Service, you actually don't need an AD server on premise. You can have your AD on the cloud, and now it's named as Entra ID. Now, Entra ID is a service which helps you in registering your users, onboarding your users, assigning user privileges. You can define multiple policies, group policies, access policies on Entra ID. You can give group rights, you can give group permissions, you can have role-based identity management system. You can there is enormous opportunity if you are an identity and access management professional, and you can easily, with few clicks of a button, not even we do not even have to write a script, you can, with a few clicks of button, engineer a very, very effective and secure identity and access management service. It also gives you a passwordless feature by use of passkeys using Microsoft Authenticator. So your users may not have to remember any passwords anymore. They just carry your enterprise mobile, and they can authenticate using their mobile phones. So it takes passwordless to a new level. So Entra ID gives you identity and access management. Intune is a service which helps you with mobile device management policy. Now, erstwhile in AD, we had to enroll SCCM clients for device management and application management. Today, that service goes to cloud, and it's a service called Intune. Intune helps you manage all your devices remotely. You do not have to, uh, yeah. So we will discuss that. It as of now doesn't have, right? It doesn't have completely, but I'll say it is 80% there. Okay. It has a lot of inbuilt features, and it's getting upgraded every day, right, Gotham? So yeah, it doesn't have full PAM capability, but uh, for a normal enterprise, uh, as high as banks, it stands good. I've seen it. I've worked on it. It may not be as mature as other PAM service providers, but for I'll say 90% of the enterprises, it will meet the requirement. Okay. Right. So the best feature of the entire 365 workspace is, now once you've moved everything to cloud, right? You have nothing on premise. Now your attack surface has reduced. How has your attack surface reduced? Servers are out. Okay. So servers are out. So now you have your endpoint, you have your applications on the cloud. The only thing that remains is the access. Now, this is where Microsoft is presently working, but it does not have a solution. It doesn't have a zero trust access as of now. It's building and it's in preview right now. I assume that in next 6 months, the CASB solution will be part of the Microsoft Enterprise E3. It is already in preview as of now. I've not used it. It's in preview right now. So we'll see. Once it comes in, it gives you zero trust access. Now, for enterprise, which are completely cloud native, do not have anything on premise, all your applications on the cloud. The only thing probably you'll have to buy is a laptop for your users. Uh, a CASB solution or a SASE solution, and your rest of the entire management of your enterprise is on the cloud. Right. Now, what are the security features? The first security feature that comes, identity and access management. And as I already told you, Entra ID supports the identity and access management part. Now, the second is your how do you secure your endpoint? So, endpoint security inbuilt into your devices using Defender antivirus and Defender XDR and a device firewall. So these three uh, solutions pass a lot of telemetry to your cloud tenant from where your XDR agent is continuously running and protecting your endpoints. That's first part. Then you have Defender for Cloud. Now, Defender for Cloud application protects all your applications against any kind of malicious activity. It's got a lot of analytics built into. It's got a lot of facilities for you to push policies sitting from your Intune MDM and Entra ID. So with Entra ID and Intune MDM, you can push all your policies into your Active Directory and into your endpoint devices. Now that is one very very centralized facility. Earlier, on-prem guys, I'm telling you, we've seen this ourselves. Managing the AD, managing the devices was a really pain erstwhile. Right today, I feel three guys, three people, one identity and access management person, one security operations, and two L1s at the analyst levels, and one L3, and maybe a threat hunter and threat responder. Four people can run a complete enterprise uh, up to 1,000 people. That's my assessment. If you have created very very good policies, 3 to 4 people can run the entire enterprise application. What would probably be left out is customer support, kind of a user support for any hardware based or requirement on the devices if device is not working or something like that. Rest all operating system, complete IT services, you know, you can automate using Intune and Entra ID. Device onboarding, device offboarding, identity onboarding, identity offboarding. You can enroll Defender in no time. In no time, you can deploy your complete XDR into 1,000 endpoints with just one small script. Oblique, you can create a script using drop-down menu. Okay, so that's the beauty of the complete space. Now, what comes bundled is you do not have to buy Qualys or you do not have to buy Tenable. The Microsoft 365 tenant comes with an inbuilt vulnerability management, workflow. So what happens is probably at the back end is a Tenable API, and it is completely constantly, evaluating your vulnerabilities of your endpoints and your cloud services, and throwing you a very beautiful dashboard to, visualize your vulnerabilities. It also sends it takes uh, I've seen the moment a device goes non-compliant, you immediately get an email to the admin, immediate. And then on the email, you can evaluate whether it's a high priority or a low priority, depending. That's where your human interface comes in. You look at the alert, and then you can make out, okay, fine. The system has detected this critical, but it is not that critical. Maybe it is not that exposed. So Defender, advanced threat protection, identity protection, and Defender XDR works beautifully for a enterprise which is completely on cloud. Yeah, some other applications which are on-prem that also can be onboarded if they support the Windows identity and access management, SSO and SAML activities. So if that is there, then you can onboard. And most of the majority of the, I will say, enterprise applications today support SSO with Microsoft, Google, and other well-known identity providers. Okay, identity. Microsoft supports SAML, OpenID, and SSO. Right. So these three it supports openly. Right. Now, the best model I liked about Microsoft 365 was the operating system. Now, most of the times, we used to spend a lot of money, even when I was in the army. Most of the times, we were spending a hell lot of money on buying operating systems. Okay, and then its patching was an issue, and upgrades was an issue because we were on a completely segmented platform. So That used to be creating a huge amount of issues. Now here, you onboard your device and you roll in a patch management policy or a vulnerability management policy, and you do not have to look into it any further. You just have to keep monitoring your devices and applications, right? So it's a complete office as a service, and if you do not have a very mature IT admin teams or security teams, then I will recommend that. And if you only require IT services for office management, Microsoft 365 is a go-to solution for your enterprise workspace office management system, right? It provides you a lot of information protection. There is data labeling policy. You can label your data, you can find sensitive data, and you can write a data loss prevention policy from your Microsoft security dashboard, right? So we are launching a new course on Microsoft 365, administration. So the whatever we discussed right now, we will be covering this in that course. This is a completely hands-on course, and why I thought that this course was important was you can with the Microsoft environment, you can actually learn the complete security operations. Even if you don't have hands-on experience, you can actually see how threat hunting is carried out. You can see how identity and access management is provisioned. Uh, Yes, you can. You can. You can. As of now, I think it supports Zscaler, Gautam. Uh, as of now, it supports Zscaler. But as far as its own zero trust access is concerned, it's in preview right now. It's not being. It's not in production, I guess. It's in testing right now. It's in beta right now, right? As in, I think another 6 months down the line, you do not have to depend on a third party CISP solution. Right. So 365, you can, what we are including in the course, it's roughly a 10 to 15-hour course. Okay. It's meant towards system admins and security admins who want to get on Microsoft 365. It's not meant for, you know, anyone who is not into hands-on role, but uh, as security engineers, as security professionals, we love to be hands-on. Certain things we want to do it ourselves, and definitely it adds on to your CV value, and you know that how the complete 365 environments work. Okay, so we will be covering Entra ID in this course, how to administer Entra ID, how to administer Intune MDM, how to enroll a device, offload a device, complete security operations starting from vulnerability assessments, threat analysis, threat hunting. Okay, we will be covering Defender XDR and some very, very, the rules are pre-populated. You can create your own rules, so you can have Defender XDR working. There are baselines which are already created, so you can select baselines based on best practices. Okay, depending upon your risk assessment, how risky your devices are, and you can have an XDR running up and running in no time. The best part is the deployment time. You know, if I was if I was hiring a third party XDR service, say I was taking CrowdStrike or SentinelOne, one of the major issues will be deploying it, on all my environment. Here, you don't have to do anything. You can deploy it from a single console, from sitting from home on a laptop. You can deploy 1,000 XDR agents onto your complete environment using just one application, that is your Intune, right? So we are covering the complete, from scratch, how to buy, how to host, DNS settings, then creating users, onboarding devices, security operations using Defender XDR, Azure Sentinel. We'll give a preview of Sentinel, though we have a Sentinel tenant also, but that will not be part of your complete course preview, because Azure Sentinel is an additional requirement and is not covered in 365. We'll just give a preview of how Azure Sentinel, ingests data from all your applications into the environment, right? We will also give you a live environment for 30 days. We'll give you 1 month's license for you to experiment and use the environment for as per your requirement. We'll create labs. We'll create labs and give it to you, and you can work on those labs and in your own tenants, right? Okay, so that's all from my side. Yeah, so PowerShell scripts we can cover, But then, there are lacks of PowerShell scripts. We will give you some basic scripts which can show you how you can actually automate, right? We can give you, say, 100 most common or 50 most common scripts and how to run them. And one of the best part is, Gautam, you do not have to create the scripts. From the drop down, if you are able to create a policy yourself, you can run the script. Okay, that's one of the best parts. We will not, because scripting becomes a different game altogether. You understand? I can take it that you are already, but because I'm not going to teach now PowerShell scripting as to how to do that. So we can show you. We will show you how you can execute PowerShell scripts for automating different processes, which we have done in our environment already. So we will showcase that to you, and we will give you, for you to experiment. The entire lab will be available to you for experiment. What else? So that's all from my side. Any other questions you can please ask. I don't think anyone has launched this kind of a course as of now. So once we deployed this particular solution on multiple clients for ours, we realized that this has got a value, because this gives you a lot of hands-on experience, and in an easy way. But the best part is, I taught L1s in my company in, I think, 5 days, 5 or 6 days. These guys are up and running uh, in 4 5 days. So because it's so visual, it's completely visual. People these days do not like scripting. People do not want to work on right right code. So yes, this is a very easy option which Microsoft has created. Uh, yeah, you can complete. You can complete. I think you can go for SC 100, right? That's one of the. We've kept it very very affordable actually. I think it is around 10K, including the license cost and including GST. Course total time frame, I take it that 1 week. It is a weekday course. We are running it only on weekdays, Monday to Friday, 2 to 3 hours, 7 to 9 or 7 to 10 p.m. I said that 10 hours, but I know I cannot do justice in 10 hours. Once I go in, I I teach from end to end. I will not. So even if it takes 18 hours, I'll go 18 hours. Course fee structure is Kazal is available on the call. I think it's around INR 10K, and it includes
Yes.
the license.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I
Well,
will be available to help out anybody who's looking to learn more about the course and the duration and the fee structure. So I have provided the number on the screen and even on the comment section. So you can directly give us a call and we'd be happy to help.
yeah, if I'm not wrong, I'll be pretty. We are transparent as there's nothing to hide. I think it's around 10,000, and including 1750 is the cost of one user for Microsoft 365. So one user plus GST. So that's the cost of the course, around 10K, right? Total time frame, it will be a weekday, 1 week course, 2 to 3 hours per day. Okay, around 15 hours, 10 to 15 hours. We'll be able to cover everything. Then we will give you the complete tenant for you to experiment. Okay. Right. Any other course? Any other questions? Right. Thank you so much. And if you have any other questions, do ping us. You have our number. You have our email. Get in touch with us, and we will help you out with this. But it's a good course. I'll not say course or not. It doesn't make a difference. But it's a good tool for you know I'll say admins, even if slightly senior guys who can actually understand the complete security operations. When is the course starting? We're waiting for 10 enrollments. We'll start the batch if we have 10 enrollments. So we'll start as soon as next week if we have 10 enrollments. Minimum 10 enrollments makes a course, viable to be carried out. So we're looking at 10 enrollments. We are hopeful that we will get 10 enrollments, and then we will start the course. Either most likely we will be next to next week. Right? Ghazal, what's this? When are we scheduling the course?
So it's starting from the 10th and it will go on till 13th of June.
Yeah, 10
But
to, so take it
yeah,
10, 11, 12, 13, 14th. In fact, 10 to 14 June. That's the plan.
correct, correct.
Yeah. But we are waiting for 10 enrollments. Once 10 enrollments start, we will start the course. That's our plan for now. Right, Gautam. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and see you guys later. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.